Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Haunted Hollows Cup. Did I get that correct? I think
Absolutely.
I did.
Yes,
I'm pretty
sir.
sure I did.
Mhm.
It's hard, because we have all these different events going on. It's Halloween weekend coming up here, and we have the North American regional event here for RBG Esports. We just came off a momentous victory against the Susquehanna Sonics. The boys have been playing really well in Hyperia. Another tough one coming up. It's true neutral here.
True. Neutral. That is certainly a force to be dealing with, and I'm not too sure that we're gonna have to. They got fifth to eighth, so they at least made playoffs last time, but they didn't do it in necessarily the greatest, most smooth fashion. They went to round 5, the last playoffs, to make it to that top 8 spot. We're going to see whether we can take them down. I think it's certainly possible because their playstyle was also really aggressive towards the attack. And, well, RBG kind of have the same.
Yeah, this is definitely, of the teams that we could have played against. I think True Neutral is one of the teams that you would want. It's not the worst, it's not the best, probably somewhere in the middle. And that's, the nature of the day. But a victory here would be huge, right? Obviously, then you put yourself one series off of qualifying into, the playoff bracket. You give yourself a real shot at doing it. And, for both teams, obviously every series is really important, but in particular, when you're on that, that 1-1 split, the difference between 2-1 and 1-2, huge gap. So I think both teams are really going to be showing their best for us.
Absolutely. And I think at this point, both these teams have a very decent chance of actually making it through to the next day, to make day 2 of the main event, which would be absolutely insane. If the winner of this series is especially well on their way. True Neutral, I don't think we need to beat around the bush and say that they're probably the favorite going into this if you purely look at what each team has been doing. But that means nothing. Paper, you put a lighter to it and it goes up in flames. And, well, that might just happen to True Neutral as well.
Yes, we are all rooting for RBG here to get it done. And I think, the other difference as well is, we talk about momentum, especially in a Swiss stage, True Neutral coming off a loss here, RBG coming off the win. I know that's, surface level analysis, but there is a level of confidence to be had, when you're coming off that series win. Again, RBG had a rough outing in the first one, but they turn it around, they get it done against the Sonics, and now they're getting a very playable matchup against True Neutral. So I think having that mental edge is big. Game 1, really important for me. I think the winner of Game 1 probably takes the series.
Ooh, that's going to be very spicy indeed. And I think it's going to be a bit of a back and forth RBG. They're going to have moments where they can sneak through and get a quick counterattack, which they have been having a lot throughout the day. And they really need to further upon that. FaZe was just a warm-up game, who then end up losing to Envy. The ridiculous scenes there as well. Well, Envy went to Game 5 with Sonics, and we just beat Sonics. I'm not too sure what is going on there. But we don't need to focus on that. We can just focus solely on this series. RBG versus True Neutral. And I personally can't wait to get it underway.
I can't wait either. It's going to be such a tremendous series and so much on the line for both teams. True Neutral are looking for a new organization, so they're looking to make, a huge impression. RBG, coming in as an underdog really into today, really trying to make a statement. Going up 2-1 in the Swiss stage would be huge for us as well. And I'm looking at True Neutral's games. Their first series, they go against Torrent, they win that one 3-1, and then they go all the way to Game 5 against Xset, who, by the way, is playing really well today. They beat Rogue and True Neutral. They're up 2-0, but it's a collision. It's a collision course between two teams that really want to make it out.
Absolutely, and especially when there's eyes of the org, because it just means so much in how much an org is actually interested in you. If you're able to consistently reach top 4, obviously that's going to gauge more interest from an org to try and support you in your journey towards your professionalism. And same with RBG, if you're able to sustain that top 8 and make it in, that is so big already, since you have locked up the next region and you don't have to worry about any qualifying shenanigans, and you can just sit back for a little bit. I'm incredibly interested to see how that might just be playing in. This is kind of a scenario where nerves are there, but not the biggest. Both these teams still have 2 chances.
Exactly, and that's the biggest one. You already have one series victory under your belt already, so it'd be very different, I think, if we were, 0-2, and facing elimination. But there's plenty of Rocket League to be had today. There are at least two more lives left for RBG here, and it's also challenging because I think a lot of us in the community are fans of True Neutral. Just what they've done during the off season, to have the confidence to move out of the South American region. They said, we want to go against the best. We want to elevate our level of play. We think that we can compete in NA. They moved to NA, and they, in the first regional, got that top 8. So they're showing like, hey, we're here to play. We're here to stay. And I just love that level of confidence, that level of swagger. Makes it hard for me to root against them, but I am one to stick to my allegiances, Hyperia. I'm still very much in favor of RBG taking this one down. Everyone can scream Vamos as much as they want, but I'm here for the red, black, and gold.
Absolutely. And you can always have an unfortunate matchup in the way of allegiances, and you just always have to root for RBG in this scenario. But True Neutral, I do love it. In general, that's also, we probably know a lot of casters on the other side, and we all like them until we come up against them, and then we go into their DMs and take the L, and all the trash talk gets loose. And as soon as you come up against them, that is all popping off. But as soon as this matchup is over, I truly wish them the best, and I really want them to make it through. But RBG goes first. Always put yourself in the first place. Make sure that you are taken care of, and I sincerely hope that we can.
I have a lot of confidence in the boys as we are getting this one set up and ready to go. We will hop into that lobby when it's ready, when we have the official word. I think we're still waiting on some setup there. It's probably a little bit of ping issue. I know True Neutral, I think they play from, I want to say from Mexico, so they're probably just finding the ideal server.
Yeah, I'm always going to find the ideal server. It's that's the beautiful thing, that you have admins in there. You have somebody who can switch servers, who can easily deal with everything that needs to be taken care of, instead of having to leave the lobby, remake the lobby, test it, remake the lobby, or still keep on testing it. That's just a lengthy process. So incredibly glad for these RLCS admins to pop on in there, and also it kind of saved us in that last game as well. Had there not been an RLCS admin, it would have just been tough luck.
Yeah, and the ability to pause the game and have those technical resets is tremendous advantage. Obviously, the RLCS servers are it's a different game to be playing on. Quite literally, they're typically hard servers, so they have a little bit stronger connection. I personally, when I play US East, I typically get excellent ping, but I was allowed in an RLCS server one time. We were warming up with Envy. We were allowed to just hang out and go in there, and there's just something different about it. When you have all those guys in there, you have the admins, the producers, there's just a different atmosphere. It's hard to explain because it's still just Rocket League, but it is really cool.
Absolutely. Just on the pitch with all the pro players as well, I finally then feel like I've made it. It's a fun feeling. You get to try and show your mechanics as well. You take it to the speed and go for a flip reset. Utterly fail, but at least they're like, okay, well, he's got the intention to do so. So you also want to show yourself up to the professional players and say, I can play a decent game of ball as well.
Yeah, there's nothing worse, though. I had the opportunity to meet Turbo Pulse. Actually, I went to Envy headquarters in Dallas, and there's nothing like when you get smack talked by Turbo in person. There's one thing about online chatter, and it's another when you're sitting next to the guy and he makes comments like that, and you're just like,
that Swedish accent doesn't help either. I don't know. It adds to the insult.
Yeah, he's a very beautiful man, but he talks his stuff. He's a fun guy. He's great to hang around, but we're not focused on Team Envy today. They're up 2-0 as well. I was following them a little bit earlier. They've been playing really strong. They have NRG next, so that's a banging series. As we're going around the horn here, I want to talk about some of the storylines we've had thus far today. We saw FaZe earlier. They were really strong in that first match against us, but they ended up dropping to Team Envy, so they're looking for the bounce back. And then on the bottom side, looking down, some of the O2 teams, Sonics, Nefarious, E United, and Rogue. You think there are any surprises in that lineup there at O2?
I think, I mean, I want to say Rogue, but Also, I don't want to say rogue, and I'll explain that because I very much realize that that sounds like a silly statement. But rogue is absolutely amazing. But the players right now are not that great, and we are 30 seconds on the way, but it is completely tied up. So it basically is exactly the same. RBG versus True Neutral, and it has been kicked off.
As we're getting this one underway here, I think this is still a warm-up because I'm pretty sure Shad and Stokelyy
team switch
playing for the wrong teams there. So I have a feeling, or at least I really hope, that this isn't the real one because, yeah.
There we go. I saw that as well. I was like, wait, we're getting in? Wait. I might get my colors mixed up. What's happening here? It's all fine. We move on. Those test lobbies are always... Because like, you don't want to miss the game either.
Yeah, and that's the hard part because it looks very real. And then I saw that those two guys were on the wrong team, and I went, you know, I have a feeling that maybe this isn't the real game. I don't think we're just doing the player swap there. Plus, if we're doing a player swap, I keep Stokelyy, man. Come on.
I mean, I don't want to get into this since we don't want to kick anyone. But AGG is a phenomenal player. If we had a fourth man, and I'd take AJG and then move him in. Not in favor of anybody else, since RBG, they have amazing chemistry. They've been playing together for a decent amount of time now, and they just need to make it work here. And I want to see them work it out on the pitch or against True Neutral.
Absolutely is. I think we have a fully stocked lobby. You can see Stokelyy there. He's smiling. He's ready to go. I think confidence is high for RBG. We're going to be getting into this one in just a moment. For anyone tuning in here, this is a red, black, and gold stream. No vamos aquí. Solamente RBG, as we're going to get it underway here. Xpurt with the touch out to money, and we are kicked off.
We have a kicked off AJG. All right, looking to take it to the skies. Gets it through, and then Shot tries to rip off a shot. Not even try. It rips off a shot, but it's Xpurt in the way. Xpurt looking for the counter attack. Goes low with it once again. That's not really been beneficiary to his play. Still, they are still having an attack going, and actually a goal going as well. Money rapid.
Love this from Money. Such a good shot there. You know, we get that one underway.
The ball is still up, and that's
going in. This is
RBG takes
not
game
quite
one.
the stream we were looking for. It was Money who got the goal there.
Oh my God! Center ball is up. One touch to the ground will end it.
See a whole bunch of different highlight plays, and well, we get back at the perfect time with RBG just popping off into the attack but getting denied by AJG.
And there we go, back into it, but huge momentum swing for RBG. Obviously, you know, we talk about the importance of game one. Scoring early in game one is just a huge boon for the confidence, and I just love that it's Money on the finish as well. You know, such a strong goal scoring threat there. We've seen him a couple of times today really, you know, show off the individual shooting mechanics, and he's a player to watch out for RBG. You know, much you say the same for AJG down the other end for True Neutral. You know, we have a couple of superstar players that, you know, should give us an exciting series. And boy, I just want the RBG to win so bad. They've been so good today and already coming out strong.
They deserve it so much. They've been proving themselves, and I think that's the most important part in this scenario or in this position. You want to prove yourself. That's honestly, at some point, the money is not even the main factor. You want to show the world that you are up there and that you are ready to play. An Xpurt tries to cut it inwards. Stokelyy still gets to the backboard. Has been incredibly clutch. Well, this time Money just takes a nice back half rotation. I think that's incredibly smart to adapt to that kind of play style. A bit more defensive while also having two players very far forward.
Yeah, and just being patient on the third man. You know, we know the offensive capabilities of True Neutral. They've really been electric with the way that they've been finding goals, you know, and utilizing that aggression, those individual plays, and just having the counter ready for that, you know, knowing where to be. As Stokelyy was up for that one. Almost a goal for RBG. That would have been an incredible redirect, but defense holds strong for True Neutral.
It will hold strong. There's a good boost grab for Xpurt, but still Race Bulls with an aerial attack. Flip reset as well. My word, Money just waiting on the backboard and giving a lot of time to true neutral. That might seem like a dangerous thing, and I very much agree that it is a dangerous thing. Money, you don't want to give him time either. Gets past one, but Race Bulls still back in defense. Race Bulls looking for that counter attack shot right underneath. And Race Bulls take it past one. Stokelyy with a good challenge. An amazing defense once again. AJG across the pitch into shot, but that might just be possession given away.
A bit of a back and forth here between these two squads. I think they're still almost feeling each other out. I know the early goal has been to the benefit of RBG, but it's a lot of ping pong, a lot of back and forth. Ooh, shot there with the fake. He's going to be able to take possession. That one having to be dealt with by Xpurt. The challenge is there from Race Bull. Shot again, turning back inside. He has the boost, flick to the backboard, dealt with by Money, but boost becoming an issue for RBG. They've been stuck in defense for a moment, and True Neutral have been building that pressure. Money again on no boost, just trying to get it out. It's such a struggle at the moment.
Absolutely, and this big boomer across the top will give them breathing room. AJG, what's going on there? Does a little crossover on the ball. It makes it awkward for a True Neutral to be breaking away, so that should have given them plenty of time for RBG to go and grab some boost. Xpurt lurking underneath the play, and that basically tells Money that he can't go for the play, and in the end, Xpurt doesn't go either. Bit of an unfortunate communication there for the side for RBG. I'm starting to get all these letters mixed up. Shot now with a wave dash shot. Denied by Stokelyy.
Yeah, with 60 seconds to play here, you're nursing only the 1-goal lead. It's a scenario we've seen a couple of times today, and it's just a question of how you really want to play it. Do you stay back? Do you just hold on for the pressure? Do you try and push for another goal, to get that insurance? I think you just sort of play the opportunities and see maybe a bit more conservative from RBG here as Money takes possession, gets it by 2. He's working it out of the corner, but good defense by Shot. And again, this is where you have to be careful. The pass back in is really good, and RBG electing to keep the pressure high.
I'm absolutely loving this from RBG. They're not trying to go back on defense and just wait this one out. They're actively moving down the other end and trying to make a bigger safety net. Stokelyy doesn't have a lot of boost, I don't think, at least, as he does head it across the pitch. Final 14 seconds, True Neutral. They're going to be hunting for the goal. That's a good tap at Xpurt. Plenty of time to get that clear. Takes a controlling touch, but Shot still has an opportunity. Stokelyy and Money, they need to figure out who's going, and it will be Money in the end. Shot, can he rip the angle? Stokelyy once again comes in clutch, and RBG win game number 1.
Love that from RBG. A couple of times today, it's been shaky in those spots with just the 1-goal lead, but such confidence at the end of that game there. You can tell they're really feeling it, just casually moving that across. Again, Xpurt on the goal line with about 8 seconds, just takes the touch. He knows that he has the time, just casually moving it out. Such a suave ending to that game, and I love that for RBG. Critical victory. They're all so important, but game 1, really you want it to go to your way, and they get it done.
They do get it done. And then game 2, can RBG continue that momentum? They did drop the ball a few times where True Neutral was able to try and set up a play, but emphasis on try. They don't really get that far. They have in total 8 shots in this entire game. RBG, they're just more accurate. They've been converting more as we do move into that second game. This might just be the match point game for RBG if they can keep their nerves and keep the same plays going. But Race Bulls, he's got some mechanics in the bag. Gets it on by Xpurt.
Yeah, that's a big chance there out of the gate for True Neutral. You don't want to give a player like Ray, the time to go individual as Money. He's just going to go low. He gets the challenge into the corner. But again, it's Race Bull who manages to come up with the save, and my goodness, it's just an immediate trade of chances. And this is the high-octane gameplay I think we're all rooting for.
That heavy attack play style is coming through. It peeks its head around the corner in the first game as well. But we might just get it fully through the door. The shot will ring through. AJG out to the side. Let's see whether he can carry this into a counter-attack. Who does get it past the Xpurt shot. Extends. AJG pops it up higher, but that gives Stokelyy an easy clear out to the side. And Money there to boot it even further. Shot still and receiving the pass. Shot on target, but Xpurt jumps off the sidewall to get that clear. Xpurt, the counter-attack. It's just counter-attack after counter-attack after counter-attack. But AJG will make sure that they do not go 1-0 behind. But Stokelyy rips it through.
And what a finish from Stokelyy. He just comes up and he recognizes the chance Raceball, not the best clearance. He puts it right back out in front of the net, and Stokelyy, no doubt about that one, just fires it home. And goodness me, the first goal is so important. They get it twice now, back to back, games 1 and 2. I just love that confidence from Stokelyy. Just step up and fire it home, son.
Ice in the veins. You said it at the start, but I'll be very honest. I had my doubts. I was like, okay, sure, of course. No, his blood is just pure ice. He's got ice flowing through his veins, keeps calm in every single scenario, and that's such an important thing at this level of Xpurt. Let's see what he can do. It gets unfortunately saved by AJG.
Yeah, but RBG really dialing up the pressure here after getting that goal, and you know they want a second. You know they really want to force the issue and really put true neutral behind. I think you're starting to see that come out a bit here, as that challenge from Money had to be good. AJG was all over it, but here comes Money now down the other end of the field. He's gonna put the shot on target, but goodness me, Shat finds the touch, Raceball with the clearance, and the counterattack. It's just back and forth for both teams, really.
In my objective opinion, RBG is just playing better. Genuinely, I think RBG, not being biased, I think they're playing better, moving into the attack while keeping the defense incredibly clear. We are about to cross halftime. Let's see whether they can keep this going. Raceball with a long distance shot. Money pops it over.
Yeah, a little bit of BM from our producer there, trying to stay objective. Listen, we want RBG to win more than anyone else, really, as we are halfway through this game. It is only the 1 goal advantage for RBG. It was enough in game 1. Can it be enough in game 2? And Money might have the breakaway here. He's 1-on-1, and the flick is... Oh my goodness, I can't believe he got there. It was Shad just in time as third man. How on earth does he get to that?
Oh, Stokelyy trying to fake out shot as well. And Money tries to get it into the attack. AJG with a clear away into Raceball. Raceball, what can he do? Or Raceball. Stokelyy pops it up high, gets the second tap forward. Xpurt up quickly, but also realizes quickly that that challenge is not for him, Shad. That's a big boomer, and this is something that RBG have to be careful about. Those long clears going over the top, over every single one of them. But they haven't been managing it amazingly thus far, and they need to keep that up.
They certainly do. That was a big demolition from True Neutral. Not something we've seen a ton of in this series, going for those bumps and demos. Neither team's really been pressing that issue, as there goes Ray. He had the shot, but Money with the save. Pressure now for True Neutral, and Stokelyy had to get up and after that one. Money's there in the midfield. It bounces down to Stokelyy. Ray, again, putting in that work. He's been above both backboards, trying to get those exquisite touches, and ooh, it's so close between both of these sides.
Absolutely. AJG, can he get the bump on Xpurt? Yes, he can, and Xpurt has no boost to try to recover, but he's got a car in the way of it. Body blocking that shot. Stokelyy going down the other end. That's not necessarily the touch he would have wanted to set up a double tap. It will be fine. RBG, they're still up by 1, but Raceball, he's hunting. He's getting it with a flip reset. Is that going to be on target? This is where we're in the smoke, and AJG will convert.
And finally, the demolitions come through for True Neutral. They were hunting for it. They put so much pressure on Xpurt with the touch out to the side, but it was shot out of the corner. Really, really aggressive turn and smart play from him. He just puts it back into a dangerous area for who else but AJG to get that goal. And we're all tied up here. Ray working out of the corner. Can't get it by Money, though. He's going to just work his way all the way down the field. And AJG had to step across, so 30 seconds to play, and now the stakes are much, much different. A goal here for either side would almost certainly be enough, as Xpurt's touch is going to go only as far as shot. He's going to try and put one on target. Money makes the save.
Money going down the other one with 0 boost. It's AJG who gets in the way. AJG gives it away to Xpurt, who just decides to rip one from the midway line. Shot into the center. Money still has a shot off the crossbar and out, but Xpurt still up for it. AJG, that was a mystery, but he does get the read in the end. Gets the block on the play, and this might just land onto the ground. AJG decides to keep it up for a second, but what a clencher that was.
Oh goodness, I thought it was going to go the way of RBG at the very end of that game there. They had a really good look, but Money's shot was just a bit too high. And now in the overtime, it's True Neutral pressing with the counterattack. And Stokelyy almost puts it in, but it's Ray at the very end. True Neutral find the equalizer, and they end it almost immediately in overtime. It's Ray who gets it, and we're tied 1-1 in this series.
so incredibly close it was as RBG, they dropped game number 2. It's incredibly unfortunate, but at the same time, it's only game number 2 and they have now just only tied it up. True Neutral, they did have the better of RBG in that second half. They were moving across the pitch and putting on the shots left, right, and center, really putting RBG under pressure. And at some point, that defense just cracks, and you see it in the save differential. Just more saves on the side of True Neutral.
Yeah, and I think RBG are still playing really, really well, as you said, but they just kind of tailed off towards the end of that game. I just don't think 1 goal a game is going to be enough. You know, in game 1, you know, they get the 1-0, sure, but you have to score more goals if you're going to try and take True Neutral all the way, as we are going straight into game number 3 here. No moment of reprieve for us nor the players, all tied up in the series. And here we go, Money trying to put that one on, but this one's gonna be bouncing back into a dangerous spot. Ray is there, so True Neutral handling their business early on.
AJG, that's wide though. Sure, that's not going to be wide. And RBG, unfortunately, are not quite paying attention to the same level that they were in that previous game. A bit of an awkward rotation, and Sean just capitalizes directly.
Yeah, nobody up on the backboard there. It was just wide open for True Neutral to take that approach towards the goal, and then they get that one early. So it's going to have to be a battle for RBG as Xpurt fires it off the kickoff. Ray is again up there above the backboard, and Money's touch is going to go straight down. There's no one actually in net for True Neutral, but likewise nobody from RBG to answer that touch. So it's going to stay on that blue side, but the True Neutral defense gets it done and they clear it out.
And Stokelyy onto the attack now. That might just be an open net. No, there's still a player back, but it goes down below it. Oh, wait.
How did Stokelyy get it?
Look at this. This is ridiculous. He almost saved it, I think.
Oh, he was coming out on the transition. Oh, he's so fortunate, I think, as you said, to not even save that. That is highway robbery from Stokelyy, but of course, the man with the ice. You know, even if he's going to make that dangerous touch, it's going in.
Oh, yeah. you know. I had no doubt in my mind. Absolutely not. And that scare was just because something scary came into my room. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that's, again, an interesting one, but Stokelyy does get credit for the goal. It's really well worked by RBG. They're going to level it up here. And, oh, that's a missed touch, but thankfully, you know, the comms were there. Stokelyy has an open net, actually, and AJG had to come rushing back. He does get the save, but still RPG applying the pressure to Money with the flip reset, but well challenged by Ray. Stokelyy pushing it aside, but bit of a trade of pressure there. RBG had it all, and how quickly True Neutral come back to threaten the goal.
Oh, that was incredibly close, and just the defensive rotation has to be a reset real quick, and I think it might have, but the boost still struggling on the side of RBG. Money throws himself into a 50. It's this. Money still dives in from behind, and that's what I mean. The boost just lacking. Xpurt only 19 in the tank, using a lot of money for diving past this. Stokelyy extends into the attack. Shard will be able to get a touch, passes it off to Razebull. He won't be able to get a second tap, or at least not what I thought. But with 50 boost, he's able to do a whole lot. Stokelyy 50 goes underneath AJG. Shard first to the ball, and Xpurt with a quick challenge, and that should be possession for RBG now.
Yeah, they're looking to slow this down, RPG, just trying to find that rhythm and break the pressure. You don't want to give up touches to True Neutral. We know how dangerous they can be when you just give them free balls and free looks. So when they have the possession on defense, they're going to try and walk it out, but it's a dangerous game to be playing. Xpurt getting up after that challenge, and Money will take it aside. He has no boost, so the pinch out will be enough to get it by first player, and that should, in theory, buy RBG a little bit of time and space to reset.
I feel like that has been the case for a decent amount of time now, where in theory they should be breaking away. Now, can they might finally make a theory truth and actually put it into its existence? Xpurt still not quite getting past the midfield line. He's going to land on this play and doesn't have enough boost, but he fakes it out enough, and that might just be enough to finally break away, finally move down the other end and set up an attack themselves. This goes up high. Shad first to it. Boost still a valuable commodity for the side of RBG, while True Neutral, they've got plenty going up for every single ball, challenging it directly. Shot, that's going to be up the crossbar, and Xpurt jumps from the edge of the box to clear that away.
And it had to be perfect from Xpurt there. I think that was going to be a goal for true neutral unless Xpurt gets that touch. He reacted really, really quickly, coming across down the other end and gets that touch out still. This has been true neutral's game. They have really dialed up the pressure there, suffocating RBG. They haven't gone ahead though, and it's kept RBG in it as Xpurt nearly had the double touch there. It's just wide.
Money up for it. That's a dangerous touch. Has to try and go for a second one. Does indeed, and then clears away for Raise Bulls. That's a good clear away shot. Tries to chase it down, but that might just be too tough for him to get back to. No, he won't get back. Money into the center. Xpurt up high. AJG and Raise Bulls still sitting on the backboard, and that's a phenomenal pass. Stokelyy gets denied by AJG. Money does stay quiet and gets a 50 with a shot in the end. AJG tries to force it through, but it's only a 15 towards Xpurt as we move into these final 40 seconds. Raise Bulls with a flip reset, denied by Stokelyy.
And the defense coming through for both teams there. Oh my goodness, I think we should have seen 2 goals, 1 for each side, but somehow still we're sitting at 1-1. This has just been a chaotic end of this game, and we may still see something extra here as Stokelyy gets a big bump. It's a shot on target, but AJG recovers in time.
My word, Money now into the center. Final 10 seconds. That's our shot. That is into the box. Shot coming through, and it's Stokelyy who has ice in the face once again, and only 6 seconds. Surely this is the winner.
Captain America, Paulie Santoro coming through with the ice. 6 seconds left for RBG. They just have to see this out now. Huge goal there. And it took one mistake from true neutral, but here we go into the middle. It's Stokelyy off the kickoff, forces the save, and this should bode really well for RBG. They put it on the floor and take game number 3. Oh my goodness, by the skin of their teeth, they get it done.
What a series are we watching here, Barino. Absolutely phenomenal, and of course, it only is a top by RBG actually taking the W's as well. Well, they've only taken 2 thus far, and well, in case you don't know, in a best of 5, you do need 3, so they need 1 more. But you see the shot total. They are shutting true neutral out.
Yeah, and 11 shots from RBG to the 6 of true neutral. It's about double the shots and double the goals. Imagine that. So again, just bodes really well for RBG. I think they've been playing a really solid game here in this series. They just need 1 more. They get 2 cracks at it. Oh goodness, it's just so big, and I just love how calm they are. Every time we go back to these player cams, you know, you could just see they're collected, they're cool, they're playing their game, and they're getting it done.
Ooh, let's hope they get it done the entire way. They've been also in the game that they dropped was a very 50-50 kind of game, and it is such a phenomenal series that we're watching. So let's just hope into that 4th game. I personally don't want to see a 5th because that means RBG have won it already. And well, let's just see what happens in this 4th one.
It's for the taking here for RBG. They're up 2-1, but it's still going to take a tremendous effort. We know that true neutral are incredibly resilient. They took X set in their previous series all the way to game 5. Here we go. The shot on by AJG, denied by Xpurt, but the touchdown to Ray. We'll keep the pressure moving. AJG takes that boost in the midfield, but the recovery isn't great. So RBG elect to just clear that one out. And oh my goodness, look at the play from Ray. Nearly gets it done on his own, and it just had to be defended. So back and forth early in this game, just the pressure being dealt both sides of the pitch.
If we had a heart rate monitor, that would be an incredibly funny thing, a funny statistic to be shown on the streams. And my heart is racing, and well, these players are racing to every single ball as well, engaging in an absolute shootout. Stokelyy 50s. AJG misses the ball, so it's shot up to the play now. Goes for a long distance shot, but Stokelyy has absolutely no trouble clearing that away to the side, and then looks for the 50 with Raise Bulls. And it will be Xpurt coming from the depths of his own box. And gets denied any opportunity at shooting, and AJG, he's allowed to move across the entirety of the pitch there.
Yeah, and you can see the precision as well as some of the mechanics that these young men on true neutral have. I just love that recovery from AJG, recognizing he's going to have the free touch, and he just sits right under the ball, really, again, forcing the issue out of the RBG defense, and they're struggling at the moment. That one bounces off the crossbar, but nobody home for true neutral, so it's just calmly and coolly dealt with. by the red, black, and gold defense, but here comes True Neutral still. It's AJG who's there for the redirect, and it's saved off the line by Money, who rotated in at the last possible second. Xpurt staying with it, and wow, I can't believe True Neutral didn't get the goal right there. What a save.
That was absolutely amazing. And now they actually might move into the attack. No, they have to be complacent and go back on defense. Take a step back and get this second touch. Good touch out of Money to send it down the other end. Money can't quite find the second one as AJG moves himself up to the sky. Shard takes control. AJG got the boost, and that might be a big problem, especially with the team bomb coming through. Down the other end it goes. Xpurt was able to collect some boost in his own corner. And now it's surely Money taking over. Does bang it into the sidewall, but this is scary for RBG. They are running low on boost, but Stokelyy has breathing room, taps it forward a bit far, still gets to 50 afterwards.
Yeah, but the problem is AJG is sitting right there in the opposite corner. You know, it's a safe touch from Stoke, and he does a good job of dealing with the pressure, but True Neutral are just lying in wait. They've been hunting for the opening goal here. They're so aggressive in their positioning. You can see it there from Shot as well, just trying to put that on target. Can't get it to go. Been a very True Neutral sided game, and that's the punishment there. Finally, they get their goal. Felt that it was coming as AJG just rips one into the center, and the conversion is made.
The conversion is made, but this is no time to worry just yet. RBG still have 2 minutes to try and bring this back to a tied game as Xpurt in his own corner. That's going to be difficult to get it down at the other end completely. Stokelyy up high. AJG in his own corner is going to have plenty of time, but no boot to follow that through with for himself. And Raise Bull will try and take control. Xpurt down the other end. 50 with Shard, sends it center. Money up for the play, and that's an open net, but Raise Bull comes from the left flank and denies that.
Oh, True Neutral have gotten some really good saves this game as well. I think RBG have had the chances, but that last man defense for True Neutral so good. Third man just rushing in. It looks so open, right? You know, when we see it on the broadcast, you're like, they have to score, but there's just always that one player coming across at the very last second to keep the red, black, and gold out of the net as Xpurt moves it himself through the midfield. He's going to try and get a touch in the middle, but Raise Bull is the first two. He's going to get the flip reset. Stokelyy used all of his boost to keep that one away from him, because we know the individual mechanics of True Neutral and have to defend against those kind of shots.
They have to defend against this as well. Indeed they do, but it's literally what you say. At this final second there's somebody there to try and take control, but now Shot also the final second, and that's kind of what this entire game has been. You miss one beat, you're a bit off rhythm, and that means you'll concede, and 45 seconds is all that True Neutral have to do to send this to a game 5 and make my heart race even more. So let's just hope RBG can try and tie this up. Pass to the center, but it will be a very simple clear away for AJG.
Yeah, with 30 seconds, I think you're going to have to start seeing true aggression coming out of RBG. As Stokelyy was still behind that. Money's there. He puts one off the corner, and the follow-up from Xpurt's off the post. AJG was there. Money up again off the crossbar too high. The follow-up from Stoke is wide.
Surely.
Xpurt? Surely. Let's go. It's Money on the conversion there. RBG set everything forward, and finally they get their goal.
They finally do with 16 seconds. There's no better time whatsoever. RBG, they were into the attack for a prolonged amount of time and deservedly got a goal to end it all off, or at least end that attack off. Now they might just move on to overtime, an incredibly intense scenario, which they have been amazing in. 50, Xpurt tries to go underneath. Xpurt, let's see what he can pull out of the trick bag. And gets denied. Shard down the other end with a musty to boot. It still gets it onto the ground, and it is overtime.
You said your heart rate was going to go up if we saw game number 5. I think my heart rate is through the roof. In game 4 overtime, it is 1 goal. That is all we need to go up 2-1 here. But True Neutral are not going to go quietly in tonight. That one's off the crossbar. Xpurt just barely puts it aside off the kickoff from overtime. We saw it in the previous overtime in this series. So that's where True Neutral were dangerous, and this time RBG survived.
Ooh, this time indeed, and a true neutral. The previous overtime is something they finished off rather quickly. Stokelyy up high, RazeBull with a big boomer. And that's going to be Xpurt pushing that wide. Let's see, 50 shot, forces it through. Xpurt still chasing it down, but you can't leave that ball hanging. That's scary. Xpurt is able to get that into the attack. Money up for it, and 50 with RazeBull high up in the skies. Xpurt decides to rotate all the way back post. Stokelyy puts it to the backboard. This could be an attack for RBG, but it seems like they're getting denied every single time they try and move past that midfield line.
Ooh, and it is a dangerous game that RBG have been playing thus far in overtime. You know, a couple of the touches have not been perfect, to say the least, but they're holding in there. 60 seconds. That was on target, though, and Shad puts an end to it. We are headed to game 5. There's the pass back from AJG that sets this up, and Shad follows his own touch into the back of the net.
Oh, that's just so unfortunate. There could have been a bit more pace, but we do move into game number 5, and I don't want to, Karina. Can we just like take a break?
I don't think we have a choice. I think we have to go and see it through.
My heart, man. Are you RBG better pay for my life insurance after this?
I don't know how much we'll get, but at the minimum, we are going to get one more game here in this series. It was another overtime finish. As we come back to the desk here, you can see, yeah, the physical expression. It's a bunch of deep breaths here, and we need that energy, ladies and gents. We need that energy in the chat. You know, this is game 5. This is a momentous game. Again, for both teams, but for RBG to go 2-1, you know, and have a couple of chances at getting through to the next stage of this event would be absolutely huge. So I think everyone is taking a deep breath before game 5. We know the stakes. We know how much pressure is being put on, but no time to think about it. Game 5 underway.
Absolutely no time. Big boomer up high. Shot is there quickly. RazeBull in his own corner. Gets the boost, but it takes a lot of time. So I think that's the most important part. If RBG have time, that's when they'll be... that'll be sufficient for them. That's when they can thrive. But as soon as they can get the screws put through them, that is when the stuff gets difficult. That's when they start struggling for boost. Well, now Money in a 1v1 against Shad still gets a 50, but no boost to a go back.
But Money doing a really good job there of just sticking with the play and buying his teammates time. You know, we saw the demolition come out, and now maybe the transition is Stokelyy. Didn't have a lot of boost, but he puts one on target, and it's casually dealt with by true neutral. Money had to wait to see that passing play develop, but he's aware of the danger. First 60 seconds have gone by. There's been a couple of good chances. Stokelyy had to come racing across there with Shad once more threatening the net. And they've been such low-scoring games in this series. Goals have come at an absolute premium, and you have to feel that a goal for either side here would be absolutely momentous.
It can be so crushing if you get a goal against right now, and that is when you have to bounce back. That's when you have to show your mental tenacity. As Money goes for a 50, but RazeBull, that was so smartly played. He went for the boost. He had another motive with AJG. Now to the backboard, Stokelyy still clears it up highest, and Xpurt dives past him, but still got a touch on RazeBull, and will clear it away. Shad into Money right through the center, so AJG is going to be able to collect, and this is where RBG, this is where they struggle the most. And when their boost is running low, they struggle to clear it away, and then 50 underneath, or just a pop underneath, and it is true neutral to score first.
Yeah, and that's so tough to deal with because AJG gets that flip reset. You can tell Xpurt's defending it high. He's respecting the flip reset, but AJG, such a smart player, such a offensively gifted player. He saw the opportunity to go low. He took it, ended up in the goal for true neutral, and this is where RBG have to respond. You know, these are the moments that separate good teams from great teams, so let's see if they can get it done.
Let's see, indeed. Shot into the center. AJG, what an angle, and just lurking into the box, and this is why it can be so incredibly crushing. You just lose moment, you just lose your mojo for a second, and true neutral put in the second.
Yeah, and that ball bounced in probably the worst possible spot for the RBG defense. You could see Stokelyy as the second man there was pushing up. He's rotating out in front of the post, but the ball ends up right behind him, and just there's such a gap there between the second and third man as that one's pinched across. So Money gets the goal there. I think with a little help from the true neutral defense, it was AJG challenging behind, and it's his touch really that puts it in.
Well, that surely is a relief, as there's still 3 minutes remain and a pause. And a pause. So I hope that that last goal stands. Sincerely do, as this is scary. This is now scary.
Yeah, and again, we don't know the context of the pause, so we are just waiting to hear the word. I really hope that stands. I'm not sure why they disconnected. We'll get word. Again, we had an issue with a player on our end in the previous game, so hopefully, they just felt it or saw it in the kickoff, and then we can just reset and get it underway. But whew, it's not helping. It's not helping the blood pressure, I'll tell you that.
I hate being in my position right now, because this is one of those moments where I just kind of want to sit here exactly like this.
Yep.
Sit here, wait, not talk whatsoever, and do whatever movement based on what's happening in the game. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's just going to be incredibly intense as we try and get that problem sorted.
Yeah, someone's asking VAR in Rocket League, something like that. Yes, because these are RLCS matches, we do have the option to take technical pauses. So we are just going to have to sit and wait. We will get word one way or another. I promise you that much. But for now, it is just it's just a bit of a moment where we have to take a deep breath and collect ourselves, because hopefully that goal stands. It was a kind of fortunate one for RBG, because it was a challenge coming from behind for AJG, and it looks like we're just back underway here. Goal's still on the scoreboard, so I think we're counting it, and RBG looking to threaten right off the kickoff. Here we go.
Last time RBG, they came out of the gates firing, guns blazing. After that break, they had a moment to regroup, but they're also grouping up right now into their own defensive corner. That's always scary to try and break away. Xpurt biding his time. Actually, the smart, correct decision. Passing field, Stokelyy with a ripper, but there was a touch. There was a blue trail behind it. Money takes a controlling touch, but did not spot Razebull in the same vicinity. Money here, the double tap. RBG tie it up.
And perfect mechanics from Money when it matters the most. Grabs the midfield boost and just sticks with it. He sees it's wide open. That double touch is as free as it'll ever get at this level. And Money, straight cash.
Nice. Absolutely lovely from Money as RBG. They're just keeping this incredibly close, and that's exactly what they have to do. The game got away from them for a second, and it will again. It's just a smart play by True Neutral.
Oh my goodness, and again, the awareness there from Shad. He passes it off and just chases down that third man. When you're rotating back in from that kickoff, from that boost grab in the corner, your momentum's only pointed one way. It makes the demolition that much easier for the part of True Neutral as they regain the lead. This has become a much higher scoring affair. We've seen a couple of opportunities, and Stokelyy puts that one high. Still pressure on for RBG as Xpurt's going to try and go for the bump out of the corner, but Razebull gets out of the way, and it's going to alleviate all of the pressure for True Neutral. As that one's bounced dangerously back into the middle. It's heartbreak as Shad converts. It was not dealt with by RBG. Razebull just gets a touch into the middle, and Money can't get it by 2.
Oh, that just hurts so much. And RBG, they've still got an opportunity. They do need to move across the other side quickly, and well, what is quicker than a kickoff goal? Getting denied one, unfortunately, as it still lands into the center. And RBG, they're being a bit passive right now, sitting far back in the defensive rotation where they should be pushing across the pitch. It doesn't matter if you lose this 10-2 in the end. You need to try and make the comeback. Xpurt misses the ball, but Shad, unfortunately, still has a read on it.
Yeah, Stokelyy elected to stay off of that one, and that's going to cause the problem because it's Shad once more who gets the goal. And True Neutral have come out absolutely swinging at the ending period of this game. Lovely touch from AJG, in fairness, put that pass on, but 3-goal deficit for RBG, just over a minute to play. It's going to take a Herculean effort to get this done.
They just need to get the momentum flowing once again, as that's always an unfortunate part. But Money, that's an open net.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay, well, you want momentum? Here it is.
It's the pinch. Oh, wow. Look at the pace of that. And the fact that Money is there. to convert down the other end. That wasn't on target. He had to get the touch. So, okay, there's one.
This is possible. This is very possible. All of a sudden, there is an opportunity, and surely they feel that as well. They will start to rejuvenate and get back into the attack. Money pops it off the side wall. Raise ball past the side of one. Stokelyy, final man back in defense. Shard is looking for that demo. It's a 50 going underneath, and luckily for RBG, it's Xpurt first back to the play. Money still has a bit of boost to work with. AJG will run nuisance though. Interference, and that is Stokelyy out wide. Money off the side wall gets denied by Shard.
And this is where True Neutral, I think, can still remain aggressive. They have the 2-goal cushion, so it's definitely, you know, within their priority, I would say, to challenge RBG in any way that they can. And here we go, Shot burning the time, just trying to run the clock out. There goes Raise Bull into the corner. He's gonna have another touch, but Money's there. It's not the best. He keeps it up high, but follow-up 50 is good. It has to be another goal right here, and maybe set up something off the kickoff. Here comes Xpurt, putting it in a dangerous spot in the middle, but it's too high. It never comes down off the ceiling. Money back into the middle. Stokelyy can't get it to go. Xpurt just trying to keep the chance alive, but it's not meant to be. At 0 seconds hit, it will be enough. True Neutral see it out in game number 5. And it's just crushing for the red, black, and gold.
That is crushing. There's no real other way to say it. That is incredibly unfortunate. But we are talking about a top 6-7 team that we're facing here, and we drop narrowly in game number 5 after a pause. So it's unfortunate, but you can regain after this. You can try and move into that next round quickly.
Yeah, you have to say both teams played it really, really well. Obviously, it's as tight as you can get in terms of a series, but I think RBG will look back on that, and it's the overtimes, I think, is what hurt them. You know, twice they had a chance to, you know, take a game in that overtime. They conceded one really early. I think it was game number 2. And then in game 4, same story, you know, just going to overtime and not getting it. And that's tough. It's really, really tough, but just a incredible matchup between both teams. I'm just crushed that they couldn't get it done. Oh, that hurts. It hurts.
It hurts indeed. And in order to recuperate our losses and get back to the drawing board real quick, we are just going to throw it to a tiny little break to figure out who we have up next, because we do have another opportunity. We're not out just yet, so don't go anywhere unless you're going to grab a snack. We shall be right back. See you in a bit.